Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are going to be talking about Bartender, Glass of God, as recommended to us by Jeb. Thank you for the recommendation, Jeb. If you want to hear the pre-show where we were talking a little bit about the show, and believe it or not, as well as some other things like next week's choice, and some kind of personality traits that Rick likes to exhibit, go ahead and join us at patreon.com/featured anime podcast, $1 a month to get you access to that bonus content, plus the bonus episodes that come out every month. 2 of them at least every month. And now on to the meat and potatoes. Tucked away in the backstreets of Tokyo Ginza, we have our bar, Eden Hall. Bartender, Glass of Gods takes place there. It's a private bar that most people walk right past without ever actually knowing it. And behind the bar sits our protagonist from the original series that we saw last week, Ryu, who trained in Japan, spent time in France before coming back and settling quietly into Eden Hall for reasons the show doesn't spell out right away until pretty much 3/4 of the way through. Ryu is in pursuit of what the series calls the Glass of God, the one perfect drink that meets a person exactly where they are. Running up alongside his nightly routine is a thread from a hotel kind of conglomerate, basically, where 2 employees, Miwa and Yakuri, find him, and in the pursuit of finding the best bartender in the country, and they want him to run basically the new flagship for their hotel, the bar. Once they come across him, he makes them the drinks, and all it takes for them to know who he is just by or who they are basically by just looking at them. So the customers who come through here, Eden Hall, at least in this time, for week to week, they all carry their own weights. They definitely drive a lot more story for it. And there is an actual story with subplots through the entirety of the show. So you not only do you have information about drinks, but you have more information about the drinks, and you actually have a story that goes along with them. The show, honestly, it's slow. It knows it's slow. And that's kind of the whole point too.
Yeah, it's not meant to be super high, fast pace, and you have a lot of characters that are driving separate stories. It's all basically, you're on a train and you have characters you can talk to, you can interact with. You're going to the same destination. So it's more about the trip rather than the destination. It's not, I've become so great now, who's next for me to conquer kind of situation. It's we're in this together, let's move forward. You've got certain problems that I might be able to interact with, and I might be able to learn from and help you grow, and vice versa. I've got problems that I need attention, or in a main character's case, I'm running from. So,
yeah. I do want to kind of draw up a comparison between the 2 of them. So we have our 2024 release, which is this one, Bartender, Glass of God. And then we have the other one, which is a 2006 release, which is the original.
Yep.
Both of them take very, very different approaches to basically this to the story, right? 2006's version, everything was very episodic. Everything was very much basically a self-contained episode. Very rarely did it bleed over, and if there was a bleed over, it was more so character bleed over, but that's it. Nothing ever really actually connected them. Versus this one, you do have a very linear, very straightforward story, right? So 2004, it wraps around basically the idea of the first and second episodes of Bartender, where the son's died. If I remember correctly, in the first episode, you're introduced to the hotel cardinal, right? The old guy and his granddaughter. And she goes there looking for the bar. He immediately produces that drink magically. He's like, "Oh, this is the drink I want to go with. Here you go. Whoa, this is it." Right. End of episode. Instead, they took that core concept and they ran with it through the entire season. Like everything was very central to that.
See,
to those two characters. I should say to those two characters.
Oh, okay. Specifically to those two characters, I can agree with that. I was going to say I've got a slightly different take in my view on the show. To me, it felt like the newer show, the one that actually had a story and had a plot and had progression, that to me felt like a precursor to the first one, which was everyone thinks he's God's gift to bartending and he can do no wrong. So in this one, he's still learning. He's still, I'm not going to say perfecting his craft, because it also here shows that he is light years ahead of everybody else as far as experience goes. But they also, from what I can tell, from what I think, they show that the reason why he's so experienced is he has loved, he has lost, he has seen things, he's done things, he's flavored himself, which allows him to flavor the drinks, kind of thing. And a lot of that has to do with him going abroad and learning other methods and stories and things like that. And I think he even encourages one of the other bartenders to go learn, read, and watch movies and do more research on themselves. I think it was specifically before a competition, actually. There's a competition in here that our main character is not a part of, but he is a spectator because he's too good for it, I guess.
No, he just didn't want to be a part of it. So I know what you're talking about. So what you're talking about is Ken, and Ken, it was in like, go out here and go do this. It was like, why do you want to do this? Why are you wanting to bartend? Like, what do you really know about yourself? Or to kind of take it back to another point is you have Ken, who is strictly there to make and mix drinks. He doesn't care about anything else. He's like, I would never serve this to customers. It's like, yeah, but knowing where it comes from to get it to the point to where it is, knowing that evolution helps equip you better to better know. But even the thing is, in the differences in between the 2006 and this one, it's not just that every drink comes out. It's, his awe-inspiring, he never messes up other than one time randomly for whatever reason. It's like, no, this one is definitely more so around, I'm still learning. I've been in the business. I've been doing this for 8 years, but I'm still very much green around the gills. And one of the guys from the other one, which made it look like they were really great friends in the bartender, this one,
really not.
They weren't friends. They didn't even know each other. And the guy with the glasses from the first one in this one, he was called Mr. Perfect because every drink he produces, every drink he turns out is perfect.
Yeah.
As such,
it's not necessarily perfect for you to drink. Sorry. Mind if I interject real quick?
No, it's not that it's perfect for you to drink, and I know that's what you're going to say. It's perfect because the mixture is perfect and it stays consistent. So they further elaborate on this because they have that competition where Ryu goes against him, and Ryu's initially at the beginning tastes better, but then it loses its flavor. His stays consistently the same. It is quote unquote the perfect drink. It doesn't matter. This drink you start with is the drink you end with, is the idea.
Yeah. Although I could have sworn his drink matured while it waited in the glass, because he was expecting you to take the top sip, and as you're holding it, your hand will warm the glass, which will change the temperature of the drink by a modicum amount, and it makes it a better.
I don't care. That's not the purpose for my mentality behind it, nor is it. The guy behind it, he made the perfect drink for the perfect sip right away. The other guy's drink stayed great all the way through. Doesn't matter. That's the crux of it. The
Oh,
true idea behind it isn't like, well, while you're holding it or while you drink it or whatever it is. It's like, no, his drink stays consistent and is good throughout. The other one loses its flavor.
I agree with you. I was talking about Mr. Perfect, not our main character. So, but no, it is the idea
I'm
that he's
so
Mr.
confused, bro.
The idea that maybe I misunderstood the scene, but my understanding was Mr. Perfect understood every aspect of the drink specifically and engineered it for every phase of your consumption, whereas our main character just was like, hey, this is a great taste, and it hits you in the face and you're done. Whereas, yes, the perfect drink maintained its integrity throughout the entire meal, let's call it.
Yes.
So I thought that
Yes.
his was the one that shifted because he was holding it in anticipation and all that stuff. And he was like, you got to, as a bartender, you need to learn this. And it's not the initial thing. He basically taught him, which was kind of cool. But the reason why
it's not that he necessarily taught him. He slapped him in the face with, hey, you're still green around the gills. And he did that twice.
Yes.
Told him, slapped him twice with harshness, which is understandable, nice. Right? Then, which gives you that character growth, something that we never had in the first one. Yeah. You get the character growth, you get the movement for it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But I thought that it was really interesting. The reason I'm bringing up Mr. Perfect is Ken was his student, and as his student, he was essentially like, we don't really care what the customer wants. The drink better be perfect, and then the customer will enjoy the drink for the fact that it's perfect, not for the fact that it's what their taste buds desire at this moment in time. And our main character is completely reversed to that. And seeing Ken kind of mature away from Mr. Perfect, but not fall into the everyone needs their own thing for the competition and whatnot, where he's like, I found out that I need my own, I'm searching for my own acknowledgments, and that's why I'm making these drinks and whatnot.
I understand what you're saying, but you're phrasing it wrong, I believe, okay? Because you're saying it's like, I don't care, I'm just going to make them whatever. It's like, no. Like, Mr. Perfect and his entourage, it's like, you're coming in and you're not being given the drink, whatever he says you're given. You're coming in, you're ordering a drink, and he's giving you the exact drink that you ordered. No deviation from it. Whereas of Ryu, he tailor makes and creates the drink for you specifically. So he uses his power deduction, he uses his eyes, he's able to see you, and he makes his judgments based on what would be the perfect drink for you at that exact moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Not the overall experience of it. Like, he doesn't take that into consideration, which is why Mr. Perfect slaps him. But anyways, as we go on, right? I mean, like, that's another thing that's kind of really different too, right? Because you have the character growth for this, but also you have they take another aspect of the bar, right?
Yeah.
So they float with the idea. They come up with the idea of the bar itself. It's described as a place only certain people or only specific people are able to find, right? It's not meant for everyone. It's not there for everyone, right? It's basically, it's a like, and I think I like that idea far better than how they approached it in the first one.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, but I feel like they piggybacked off of his mentor's take on the bar. Like I want to say episode maybe 10. They're searching for a bar that is essentially difficult to find, and they happen upon a bar. And to contrast everything, the guy behind the bar, the bartender, goes, "Ugh, you guys are looking for something else. Go away." And our main character goes, "Hey, remember me?" And they're old friends, and they're old mentor versus, well, I think they're mentor student, or they were both students at the same time. and you strike up a conversation, and just the duality of the "Welcome, sir. What can I get you?" versus the "Go away." And when you look at the door they enter, it's very nondescript. It's very
well,
regulars
let
only
me
kind of thing.
interject there really right. Let me interject there really quick. It's not go away mentality. It's they came in looking for a specific bar, and he told them the bar they are looking for is upstairs. They don't need. He doesn't want them there.
Yes,
that's okay. Not that they walked
I can
in.
see
And he's
the
like,
difference.
get out of here. Okay. That is a very telling difference, right? And the mentality behind it is also vastly different too. So they both have the mentality of like, hey, this is basically kind of like a hospital. I don't agree with that analogy, but they go with it, right?
Okay.
You go there for healing in a matter of speaking. It's like you know, you go to a church for spiritual healing, you go to a bar for I don't know, something else. You definitely don't go there to if you're dying, right? But they also lean on the idea and they really push. It's like if you're going if there are really only two people, someone who's looking to basically take their last breaths with, spend their time with, it's typically with someone, it's either a priest or a bartender.
Yeah.
Right. And they definitely go a lot harder on that.
Oh yeah.
In this than they do anywhere else. And they definitely, they broach that subject 4 or 5 times from the time they actually introduced that point all the way to the end. They broach that subject and
a lot.
And it's kind of a pivotal point and a central focal point for Ryu in this season, in this version.
And the main reason that you find that is, I don't think he feels particularly solely responsible for the outcome of one of his patrons that did not end up very well. But it was one of those, if I gave them a different drink, if I thought they needed something else, maybe the outcome would have changed. And thinking that way is very difficult. There's somebody in my life back when I was much, much younger. I denied a request to go out and hang out with somebody, and they didn't. They chose other things, and unfortunately, it did not end well for them. And I always took that for years and years until I found out that those are not my decisions. And it was one of those things that was really nice to see, and I think really fairly well handled in this show, where, yeah, you can beat yourself up, but ultimately it's not your decision. Ultimately, it's not your fault. And you can't carry that with you. You can learn from it, you can try, but you can't you can't hold on to that. So I think they did a graceful attempt at this subject. And it's not an easy subject to hit in an anime or in any kind of fun medium, but I think they did decently.
Yeah. Yeah, another thing too that the show really kind of delves on is it leans pretty, I mean, like with the focal point really kind of revolving around Ryu being the center and the focal point rather than being a side character or an accessory basically for the show.
Yeah.
He's definitely taken a more upfront role in
more
it.
More active.
Yeah, more of an active role in it. I do feel though, with them having done that, you don't see as many characters with the plethora of stories that we definitely had, like in comparison to the first one. Right? This one, you even have backstory, and not necessarily backstory just for Ryu, but you get backstory for Ken, and then you obviously already knew the backstory for the girl and her grandfather. And they didn't go into much more detail about that, but I feel like that is something that they definitely, I feel it did it a service because you got more information about Ryu, you got more information about the characters, and then you got to see how he actually reacts, his interactions with them, how he's growing even after failing or not doing a great job, so to speak. you know, or how he improves.
Yeah, I would say the thing I liked more, if we're doing a compare and contrast, the thing I liked more about the older version, it felt to me that they made stories about the drinks. Like they're like, this episode is about this drink or this type of drink most of the time, and now let's make a story about it. And that's what they did. Whereas here, you didn't really see that not narrow mindedness, that's one track mind maybe.
The narrow focus.
Narrow focus. Yes, tunnel vision on the drink, and it expanded out so that the drink itself was part of the story. It wasn't the story, and that was really really cool. I do have a weird question for you. You might know this. Well, I hope you would. Both shows are essentially identical in title. Are they based off of the same material? To your knowledge?
I'm sorry. Like,
is it the same source material with two different interpretations?
Oh, okay, I got you. So what you're asking is, was Bartender, the other one, also based off of a manga that is by the same person?
Yeah.
The answer to your question is yes.
Now, more focused, is it the same story, just with two different...
I haven't read the manga, man. I haven't read the manga, and I don't know.
Okay. I thought maybe that the sources were the same. But that's fine.
They're both based off of the manga Bartender by Araki Joe and Kenji Nagatomo, right? They are both. It is both by them, right? So the manga is by them. It is both animes are based on them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the anime is going to be the same, because you can have something that is very loosely based, and then they change it up. I mean, I'm going to go to your favorite show, your absolute favorite show, Naruto. Right? They had entire sections that had absolutely nothing to do with the manga in there. Entire sections, entire seasons, movies, absolutely nothing to do with the manga, right? Nothing to do with the source material. It's the same thing. It's living off the name, right? And people take creative liberties. That's why you can have light novel manga, and you can have web comics, and then you can have the anime, and all four of them tell vastly different stories. All four of them can tell you entirely different reasonings behind it. So take Tsukimichi, Moonlight Fantasy. It's another great example.
Yeah.
They have changed so much, or they left out so much, and that's just based off of the manga. I haven't even read the light novel, which the anime is actually based off of the light novel, and there's just so much that changed. There's so much that is not even there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think for this particular example, Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood would probably be a closer representation of what my thought process was. But it makes sense.
I mean, like, even if you take that into consideration, it was done, Full Metal Alchemist was done with the blessing of the original creator, because they caught up the books.
Yes, I agree.
And they had nothing else to go off of. And so they're like, we're just going to do our thing. You cool with that? And they're like, yeah, by all means.
That's what I'm referring to. It's that's why I was like more to the idea of maybe it was, I was asking if it was the same story with two different interpretations or two different timings of the story.
Technically it is. It technically is the exact same story. It's just one has more subplots. And from my understanding and from what I've seen, a lot of people don't like the newer version. They prefer the older version.
Really?
To my understanding, that's what I think, right? And that's what I've read. Some people like the older version preferred over the newer one. I prefer the newer one to the older one.
I do as well.
Another thing that they do for the newer one that they didn't do with the older one is they tell you or show you and explain to you that a drink, if you come in and order it, changes from bar to bar, changes from person to person. So no two people make it the exact same. No two bars make it the exact same. You can order a martini from one place and order it at another place, and how they mix it, the preferred liquors that they use for the spirits and everything else, the ratios for it, different, changes. And so they definitely leaned harder into that, and they even go through the process for when Ryu's senpai goes into his bar and the lady orders a drink. Ryu makes it 2 different ways, preps it 2 very distinctly different ways, but it is the exact same drink.
Yeah.
How you crush the lime, the type of sugar that you add, what you do with it, how you mix it, how you pour it, gives you different flavors, gives you different views, gives you, you know.
Well, in one of the episodes, I think they even said that the same bartender can never make the same drink because he's never the same bartender and the ingredients are never the same. It's very similar to a man can never cross a river twice because he's not the same man and it's not the same river. Right. So it's cool. It's nice. It's got a lot of hidden or not so hidden philosophies and things like that. So I prefer I prefer the one we just watched to the one we watched last week. The only thing I think that the one last week did better on, it showed you how to make the drinks at the very end. Like the credits were unique in the sense that you saw real people making the drink, and I thought that was just chef's kiss. Awesome.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before. It was fascinating to me. I loved it.
Yeah, for me, it was a novelty, but I really didn't care after the first one. It was like, oh, that's interesting, and then I skipped past it because I could not care less about it.
Meanwhile, here I skipped the intro and the outro because after watching him once, I was bored, and with that one, I was like, this is cool. This is great. It's also, I'm probably interested because my brother is a bartender now, so that I was like, I have something to talk to him about.
There you go.
So, anyway,
I mean, for an anime like this, I feel like it's a pretty solid, pretty solid. I don't have really too many major critiques for it. I do have some small ones. We kind of went over those already. But the studio for this Liber, for a newer studio like this, for them to do something like this, I've seen only one other of their works, and it's the Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. That's the only other one. It makes me wonder about how the other ones are. They've done Grand Blue Dreaming and Mechanical Marie for a couple of the other shows that are looks like they're fairly popular. But I mean, for a show like this, does not surprise me how much it's improved from the 2006 version. So it's I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, when it comes to the show, honestly, I like the animation. It's a lot cleaner, a lot better, a lot easier on the eyes. Doesn't feel as dated.
Yes.
The 2006 version, it felt old even for 2006. Yeah. It felt like they were going for a very particular cyberpunk style anime, and doing that for a bar is not the way to do it, right? Like like that animation style worked well for Witch Hunter Robin. It worked well for Ergo Proxy. Not for Bartender.
No. Well, the difference between those 3 animes, Bartender's the only one that I felt didn't have substance.
Well, it was dark. It was dark. It was darker than dark. It had very minimal light, and I get it. You're in a bar, but I don't need to be staring at a 95% black screen on the whole time. Just seeing a face that glides across.
Turn on some night vision for us. Let us see it at least. Yeah, they might not be able to as the characters, but
yeah.
All
right. I don't know. Maybe if I remember correctly, in the I don't know. Maybe here's my hypothesis, and then we can go into the ratings and after you respond to it. But maybe the 2006 version is basically after he already left the hotel. Maybe that's how they wrote it.
That's my only assumption, because he looks older in the first one, and you've got the 2 other bartenders that we don't really get to see, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe it's a timeline. They started with the older version where he was already perfect and everyone was already happy with his stuff and all that stuff. Yeah, well, it goes back to is it the same source material? Then, yeah, it could be just two different eras, if you will. Either way.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So,
No, actually, that makes a lot of sense because in this one, it was expressly stated that the bar is kept dim because it's easier to hide sour emotions.
well,
And that's when
not only that, in the first one, in not the classic, the 2006 version, Ryu is the bar owner versus in this one, he is
oh,
not the bar owner.
I did not make that connection. I just thought he was a bartender and he was just a really, really good one that was always there. Him being the owner makes a whole lot more sense. So yeah, it most likely it's not the same time. It's different times in the dude's life.
Or different interpretations. Someone took the liberty of creating a story that was beforehand.
Fair enough. That's also an option. I like the idea that they're two different timelines. Same story in a different version of his life, a different timeline of his. I like that way better than
Just
because how could you go so wrong with that story? Well, wrong is the wrong way to put it. It's not wrong. It's just not my flavor.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. All right. So, scale of up to 10, sir. How would you rate this?
This one I felt was really well done. I liked a lot of it. There was very little I did not like about it. But the growth rates and the characters we were able to talk about and read about and interact with and seeing the growth of not only our main character but other characters. One of the big drawbacks, you're right, it is very slow. But as you also said, the anime knows it's slow, so it doesn't drag stuff out unnecessarily. The plots are they're short enough that even though they're drawn out, it doesn't feel like an overreach, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's slow burn by design.
So taking all these things into account, I would say this would be a really strong 7 or a weak. No, I'm going to go with an 8. It's a weak 8, but it's an 8. I would recommend this to other people. I would watch it again. I would watch it with my wife. And the reason I feel like I could have rewatch value here, there's a few things I probably missed. Given our conversation, there's at least one thing I missed, which means I could rewatch it and learn something new. And that is pretty awesome for a show that I would want to watch again. And you?
Well, for me, I'm going with a 6. The reason why I'm going with a 6, it was good. It was far better than the 2006 version. It was a step up. It had a story. But honestly, it was still, for me, it was just like kind of there. It had a story, but it was still kind of just there. It wasn't any mind blowing. It wasn't blowing my socks off. It was kind of, it is what it is. They had their
it was better.
In my opinion, they were trying to bring glory and status to something, and it's like, bartenders, they don't make a lot of money, and they said that several times. It's like, I got it, bro. I don't make a lot of money. I understand, bro. Thanks for saying that.
They do it for the for the passion.
They do it for the passion. They do it for the customer service. All right, bro. Whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. Just, I mean, like, it was kind of there. I wouldn't watch it again. There's very few people that I would actually recommend this to. So that's it. That's all I got, man. All right. Next week we're going to be talking about Rooster Fighter, which was a recommendation from Major Montana. It's one that I've been wanting to watch anyways, as well as a few other people that I know have been really kind of keen on watching and checking it out. It's finally finished. We're going to be watching it next. So
sounds good.
If you feel like we did too much justice, not enough justice, or anything like that, feel free to reach out to us. All our contact information, how to get a hold of us, our Discord, Twitch links, all that available on featuredanimepodcast.com. Pre-show is available on patreon.com/featuredanimepodcast, as well as all our affiliate links and different ways to support us. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we'll see you next time.